So it means that I used 11 years, if I'm right, to
Yeah,
get
you are.
degree certificate.
You are a
I
warrior.
used 11 good years to get degree certificate.
Yes.
But some people would say that, oh, it's a long process. Why didn't? Because back then, even if we had decided to go to the university straight,
Yeah.
maybe there would have been some challenges because you were not the only child. There are other, kids there that the parents would also have to take care of. My father would have to take care of, and it was just my father alone because
Yeah.
my mom, uh, you know, is absent, and
Oh,
it's a whole lot. So at the trading color, at least you have you have your allowance at the end of the month, so it can just at least cushion you and push you somewhere. But we were
yes.
not doing the teaching alone. When I completed teacher training college, I was also interested in journalism, and I just decided to why not go to a journalism school to have knowledge about journalism. So there at Dominasi, I closed from school at 3 o'clock and came to Kumasi, Kwadaso, Janasi Kwadaso area at Oxford Institute of Business and Journalism, and also had a 2 year, you know, diploma in journalism. And during that process, I had to um, also find my way to get international certificate as far as the journalism is concerned. So
Yeah.
I enrolled on ICM, that is Institute of Commercial Management, UK. ICM UK. I enrolled 2 courses there. That is broadcast journalism and
Yeah.
then newspaper reporting. And
Okay.
thankfully, I was able to pass all the two and had the two certificates. And I practiced journalism as well. So at Dominasi, after school, after I completed the journalism, I had to go and work at DSFM at Bekwai. I was I was virtually doing everything there, reading Chi News, playing entertainment programs, funeral announcements,
Yeah.
and virtually everything. So during my days as a journalist, I also thought that no, I'm vocal. I'm somebody who can stand in front of people. I
Yeah.
don't feel shy. Stand in front of people and uh, manage programs and events and other things. So I also made myself an MC, and that time the MC job had started even way back at the training college, even before completing training college. So that was also one thing that I was doing. So a lot of people got to know me through teaching, through journalism, and through MC job.
Okay.
So after
Now wait.
university,
No,
okay,
now wait. I just want to intervene here. I love the flow, but I just don't want to miss anything out.
okay,
Now, you made a critical decision. Even though your teacher saw you, he peeped through the window and saw that your delivery to your colleagues was excellent, and that he felt like, no, you need to be a teacher. In fact, you could have said no to him, because even if he made those suggestions back then, you were not bound to take them.
yeah,
So yes, so you ended up becoming a teacher in the first place, and then you also found your way to become a journalist, and not just a common journalist or local journalist, but internationally accredited journalist. But you agree with me that now the narrative isn't the same as then, and the time you were posted to Dominance, that was 2012, if I'm right.
yeah, dominancy, yeah,
Great.
2012, the Kwai
Yes.
constituency, yeah.
Yes. And then, so it's been more than a decade, to be
Oh yeah,
honest. Yes.
yeah,
And you agree with me that teachers have had these challenges, that always salary issues, teachers are not paid well. And I mean, it's a situation all over the world. Here in the UK, teachers complain all the time that the kind of money they are paid, so it's not about Ghana. But in this case, I'm just talking about the reality. So you went into teaching when you knew that teaching wasn't a high paying job. And then journalism too, if you agree with me, then was not, that kind of job which was also a high paying job, especially if you don't find yourself in that big, you know,
Yeah, stations. Yeah.
power stations. So I just want to know the motivation behind knowing very well that the two career paths you were choosing that time were not in quotes that career which can easily, raise you to that apex of the kind of life you want to be. What was your motivation? Or there was something you were seeing that a lot of people didn't see, but you felt like, no, this is for me and I have to go for it. Maybe we can pick lessons from it.
Yeah, the motivation as I started, I said I'm somebody who is resilient and focused. If I aim to do this, then there's no way I will not get it. I will have to work very hard, push hard, and get
Yeah.
it. The motivation was that I just loved to do teaching. That is one. I also loved, even from childhood days, to do journalism, and that is two.
So you didn't care
So
about the money, but you just wanted to follow your passion then.
exactly, I was just following my passion. I
Okay.
was just following my passion, and I realized that it has really helped me. The
Yeah.
two has really helped me a lot, and it has given me a lot of exposure. A lot of people have got to know me through teaching. A lot of people have got to know me through journalism. I've had the opportunity to meet, high profile personalities, covered high profile programs, emceed high profile programs, and it's something that I remember when I was at the university. I was the SRC PRO then at the University of Education, Winneba Kumasi campus. That was the year 2018, 2019 academic year.
Okay.
And all these was because I was exposed, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. People got to know me because when I went to campus, I joined Mind FM on Kumasi
Yeah.
campus, University of
Yeah.
Education, Mind FM. I
That's
joined the
campus radio.
station. I was the morning show host. I earlier, at first, I partnered somebody as a co-host of the morning show, and later I became the host of the morning
Incredible.
show. So you
Yeah.
get it. So I was
Yeah.
able to meet different kind of people, different kinds of personalities, and it has really helped me. And
Yeah.
probably the more reason that has also compelled me to move to other territories to also explore what is or what are happening in other areas, and that probably has brought me here in Canada. So it was all about passion. And one thing that I've learned is that if you follow your passion, and if you follow with resilience, if you follow with focus, if you follow with I can do it, and not be procrastinating all the time, you will definitely get there.
Amazing. Now, you just mentioned that you happen to be the SRC PRO of then administration during your time. That
Yeah.
was 2018, if I'm right.
Yes.
Yes. Does it mean you went into student politics or something?
Oh yeah, of course. I went into student politics. I was because when I went to school, just from level 100,
Yeah.
I decided to write. And people who have followed me on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and a whole lot, they could tell that I love writing. At a
Yeah.
point in time, I had my own, uh, you know, daily English teaching tutorials or English
Yeah.
tutorials daily. I did it for 2 years, daily, every day. I never missed a day. And people love to read about me, that we say this in this way, we don't say it in that way. The correct word is this one, the correct expression is this. And people have been using this. And, a lot of people were following me on that. And from there, during the SRC administration, if there was something that was not going on well with the SRC or with the school, I wrote about them, and it traveled beyond boundaries. Everybody got to know about me through my writings. I remember when I was about exiting university, there was an article that I wrote, and that article broke boundaries to other universities, broke boundaries to University of Education main campus, Winneba main campus, and some professors called me because I studied English language. I did
Yeah.
literature, So I'm able to analyze, I'm able to, go deeper into some information. I don't just write on the surface. So some professors called me, encouraging me. Some students called me, encouraging me. And truly, the article that I wrote was a mid-term examination question for those who were following us, those in level 300 then. I was just about exiting, in level 400, just about exiting. And I had written an article, and then one of our literature lecturers, Mr. Suman, gave it to the level 300, the article that I wrote, gave it to the students in level 300 as their mid-term examination.
Imagine. I mean, so when you realize that your article has found its way to be an examinable material or wherever it is, what was the feeling? Did he at some point tell you about, or you found it? They came to tell you that, you know what, your article just dropped. And I mean, how was it? You should be
I
proud of
was,
yourself.
I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. And the only thing that I said was glory be to God, because
Of
from
course.
nowhere,
Yeah.
my beginning from a village,
Yeah.
striving very hard to make a case for myself and to make a case for any young person who comes from the village, to make a case for anybody who is ambitious and who would want to push and push hard for a better future. To find my article being an examinable material, being an examination question, it was so amazing. And I am still grateful to Mr. Suman. Um, Grateful to everybody who was around me, all my friends who encouraged me to write. And back in school, I had friends in the NDC, I have friends in the NPP, and I also had my interest as
You
well.
mean that you mean the two main political parties in Ghana? I mean, if you're
Exactly.
watching from any part of the world, these are the people who
And
control stuff
uh,
in Ghana.
in Ghana. So
Yeah.
I have friends here, I have friends there, and still I have friends in the NPP, I have friends in the NDC, even though now I am, now stationed NPP. You get it?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
You've
still,
aligned yourself with,
I
with
relate.
MPP. Yeah.
Exactly. I relate very well with my colleagues in the NDC, and I respect them a lot. They also respect me a lot, except that sometimes we have disagreements, but that is not the question for this. So I was very happy. Student politics, yes, I did student politics actively, and that probably brought me to the level of the SRC.
Okay. So now, before this interview, I spoke to a couple of people. I said
And
I
and
know
and
them,
to
but
add that even at the university as well, I joined student parliament, and student parliament, I was the minority leader of student parliament. At the same time, the SRC PRO. So that same year that I was the SRC PRO, I was also the minority leader of student parliament at University of Education Kumasi campus. So you can see that I was trying to force myself
of
and
course,
make a
trying to
case for
make a
myself.
mark.
Yes.
Yes. And this student parliament we're talking about, I mean, if somebody has not had a feel of it, my think is something which students just go there to play. Yes, it's a serious house which conducts its business like the Parliament of
That, like the
Ghana. Or
parliament, yeah.
yes, yes. And sometimes you have, certain member of parliament visiting you in most of your proceedings, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I remember the current Speaker of Parliament, that is Right Honorable Bambabin. He visited us at the University of Education, Winneba Kumasi campus. He was a guest there. We had a full sitting. He observed it. He loved it. Apart
Amazing.
from that, we also had the former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, my own MP,
Yeah.
Joyce, Honorable Joseph Oseuzu. He also visited us as a guest. He
Another top man.
he observed our proceedings. He loved it, and so we invited a lot of politicians to our sittings, and that was a way of just trying to have ourselves nurtured politically and getting to know how political or parliamentary proceedings are done, how parliamentary debates are done, and the processes, and so it was a good experience. It was a very good experience, and I would encourage anybody who would want to aspire uh, in politics in the near future or in the future at the university. Don't just be
Pass
an
through it.
exactly.
Yes,
Don't
you make
just
sure
pass
you,
through
yeah,
the university.
yes.
involve
Yes.
yourself with some university political activities, and then not necessarily being political, but at the university just join some activities and have fun. And at the same time, I was the morale leader. I also love morale of Matkosa.
Of
You get it?
course.
Yeah, there's a group,
Called
Matkosa, and
Makosa.
even though I
Yeah.
didn't attend Mampong Technical College, but I was an affiliate and I became a morale leader for 2 consecutive years.
So
And
meaning you were visible all over.
visible all over, in school, on campus, everywhere, everywhere,
I love
everywhere.
it. I love that. Now, back in the university, I mean, my story, I once contested for an election and I lost. I I I went to I contested for the president for Mathematics Students Association on campus. In fact, I lost by 2 votes. It was so devastating moment for me. But it taught me great lessons. And from there, my life was never the same.
Yeah.
The kind of platform I had to campaign, the kind of lecturers, the kind of faculty leaders I met, selling my policies to them. And end of the day, people who were seeing me from a different angle, who didn't know that political side of me, had a change of mind of who I was. Now, you've not talked about it, and it's not something I'm going to allow you to escape. My reliable source informed me that at some point you contested for an election on campus and you also lost miserably. In fact, it was very disappointing because at that time, OGEE was that household name which was on the lips of every student on campus, and people going length and breadth, promising here and there, but you lost. Was it true?
Oh, let me also say that back at the senior high school, I contested as the house prefect of my house, that is Omar House, at the
Yeah.
senior high school, and I contested unopposed. Nobody contested me because everybody knew that if they had contested me, they would have lost. So it was unopposed. I was the house prefect at the senior high school.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure you are doing pre-damage control.
House prefect at the senior high school. So yes, I contested at the university. That is the uh, Association of Students of Languages.
Yeah.
As all, I contested as the president, and as you said, you lost by 2 votes. I
Yeah.
lost by 12 votes. But thankfully, just within that space of time that I lost as the uh, you know the as a contestant in the presidency for my department,
Yeah.
it was at that same period, just few days, not even weeks, just few days later, was where I was contacted to come and serve the entire SRC as their PRO. So just imagine if I had won the uh, presidency, even though I lost unexpectedly, I lost, but I believe that it was a loss for a reason. I
Of
lost for a
course.
reason because maybe I was needed in the broader picture and not just to limit myself to my association. But I also did my best to help the association in any way or form that I could to uplift the name of the association. So yes, sometimes in life you lose, other times you will win. But sometimes when you lose, it is for the better or for the betterment of your future. And I think I lost for the betterment of my future, and it even exposed me positively the more. Yeah.
Yeah. You lost for a reason. I lost for nothing. In fact, I really had it's only brought to be, some experiences, and like you said, it's this these I mean this is part of the learning curve, which
Oh yeah.
if you go through end of the day. Now, after uni, now you have your degree. I'm sure you went back to classroom. Is that the case?
Okay, so after the university, I had to come back to the classroom and teach. And I was posted to Ameniampong Senior High School in Mampo in the Ashanti region, where I taught as a uh, tutor of English for 3 years.
Yeah.
And throughout my stay at Ameniampong Senior High School, I loved the place. I loved the weather at Mampong General. I loved the people of Mampong, their receptive nature. I loved the people that I engaged or that I was in the same profession within the same school, the teachers around, lovely people, people who would be there for you at any time, and the school administration, lovely, and the whole lot. So it was there that I spent the rest of the 3 years after my university education. Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Now, you just revealed to me and the audience that you also practice some level of journalism at some point along the line. Now, what do you think about the media landscape, the journalism landscape of Ghana, and then maybe we broaden it to Africa? If you go to social media these days, I mean, I just want us to start from the traditional media, the kind of content, you know, the kind of language, and sometimes. What do you think about it? The media landscape, the social media space, and those kind of stuff. As a journalist, and once a soldier is always a soldier. What do you think about it?
Yeah. So I know that journalists in Ghana and media practitioners in Ghana are trying their very best possible to serve the nation in their respective ways. And I believe that they are doing very well. And I believe that whatever they are doing is in the interest of the nation. But one thing that I would say is that it is becoming so clear that people in the field of journalism now think that the first person to report is, you know, the best in
Of
the job.
course. Yeah.
Like you are, if you're able to report something first, then it speaks that you have links with the power in authority, you have, connections, you are the most credible person and a whole lot. So people do not even verify the kind of information that they would want to put out there. And I think that must be checked very well, because uh, as a journalist, you are there to educate, to inform, and then to so your role is to educate, to inform, and then to entertain. So anything that you put out there should serve these three things. Either it is going to educate the people, is it going to inform the people,
Or
or is it
entertain.
going to entertain the people?
Yeah.
So if your form is entertainment, go ahead and do your entertainment, devoid of spoiling the image or the reputations of people. If you are informing the people, give them the accurate information so that
Yeah.
you don't come back, as people have been doing, to retract what you earlier reported. Because the more you do retractions, the more you retract your post, the more people get to have some sort of perceptions about you, and the more your
Yeah.
credibility also goes down.
Yeah. It
And
becomes questionable.
if you are a journalist like myself, and you think that your political ambition, or if you're on a political line that will not permit you to be neutral, I think that you will have to, put the journalism aside and go and follow your politics like I did.
Yeah.
Because I thought that at a point in time, I had served as a journalist for over 6 years. Over
Yeah.
6 years, from 2013. Uh, yes, 2013, when I started practicing as an intern. And from there till even 2020, yeah, 2020. It was just around 2020 that I decided to go into full-time politics. So if I am into full-time politics, I don't need to be practicing journalism again, because I will not be fair. I will not be
Yeah.
fair, in my
That makes
opinion. So
sense. Yeah.
if you think that your political aspiration or your political interest does not sit well with the work that you are doing, just resign, go and join your political affiliation, and do the best for your political party. Currently, we see that a lot of people in the media landscape are trying to get closer to the politicians. And in the space of time, within a twinkling of an eye, you just realize that the person is given an appointment in government. Not
Yeah.
that it is bad, not that
Yeah. I
it is
understand
bad.
your point. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that it is because people saw or realized that those people were going on a particular tangent, And because they were going on a particular tangent, oh, it's no news that, let's say, Pascal has been given an appointment by party A or party B. It's no news that OGEE has been given an appointment by party A or party B. People are able to predict your future. So
Yeah.
I think that they have to be professional. Generally, they have to be professional. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
Brilliant. And
a lot of them are professional anyway.
of course, of course, of course, not to mention anybody's name, but
Yeah.
we a lot of people are doing. You know, my worry has to do with, and I don't know if it's also a worry to other people or to you yourself. My worry has to do with, some languages that are used on radio back in the days when we were kids. It was hardly for you to come across such content in the daytime, and but these days, these hard languages that they use on radio in our local languages or wherever it is, and most of these things normally happens in our local language. And I mean, I get worried, and some of these things too are also streamed online. And so even if it is an adult program which is carried out in the night, the contents still find its way into the media space during daytime, because if you're using a Facebook Live, it records it automatically, and when you finish, it's still there in the system. And I get worried. I don't know if you've come across what I'm talking about. And I
Yeah.
think to me,
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
y-
And one thing that we should also accept and get to know is that it is not everybody who is in into media practice or
yeah,
who is practicing in the media that is a journalist. That
okay,
one, I think Ghanaians have the perception that once the person has a microphone to speak to
yeah.
and for people to hear them, they are journalists. No, not all of them are journalists.
But
Some of
but
them,
but but not to cut you short. Don't you think that once you put up a media house, then these things that has to do with the ethics of journalism, because end of the day, either you bring somebody somewhere or wherever it is. Yes, it's common practice. You can bring somebody somewhere and then give the person training. Don't you think that?
exactly, exactly. I was going to that point that
Okay,
not
yeah,
all of them are journalists, and some
yeah,
of them have not had formal education about media practice in Ghana,
yeah,
but just that they have the voice, just that they have the following, and that is why they are there. So you will understand them, but that does not also, license you to be using any unprintable language on the media, especially during daytime. The kind of conversations that people have on radio currently, the kind of argument, counter argument, the kind of accusations, counter accusations, the kind of reputations that people are spoiling in the name of
yeah,
this this social programs
yeah,
on radio. It's,
yeah.
it's it's very it's very appalling, and it didn't used to be that in the previous times, but I think that now it has entered our system right now. We should accept and embrace, but in our acceptance and embracement that it has come to be part of us, I think that there should be some sort of on the job training for those people so that as they continue to practice, they will also be guided by the rules and ethics of journalism, by the rules and ethics of media. You get me? Because if
I
if
get your
if
point.
you if you you know uh, spoil the reputation of somebody, the person can press charges against you, and if you are not careful, you will have to uh, face a lot of challenges, either financially or even serving some jail terms or other things. So this is something that the owners of the media stations should take it upon themselves, and the managers of these stations should take it upon themselves. That yes, these people, not all of them have had formal media training, but there is something that we call on the job training. Let us take them through it. Let us teach them the ethics of the work media practice in Ghana and across the globe. Because I don't think that the kind of media practice that some radio stations and television stations are doing in Ghana will meet global standards. No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you, and I think a lot of people will also agree with this opinion of yours. Now we have to wrap up. very soon we need to wrap up. We've really had a lot from you. Now, very recently, there is this conversation that Wademaya put it out there that uh, Africans needs to be real to the people back home, and that he thinks we kind of misrepresenting the diaspora, life in the diaspora to those back home. And as a result, everybody back home wants to travel here and there. I mean, it's really sparked a lot of conversations where people had diverse opinions on it. What is your take on it? Are we some of us, not all of us, are some of us in the diaspora misrepresenting what's happening here, and that information going back home has not been the accurate one? And so, you know, pushing people to also make some moves, which in reality they could have thought twice about it.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. Uh, even us, when we were back in Africa, when we were back in Ghana, our perception about life abroad was different. We thought that immediately when you enter Canada, immediately when you enter UK or Europe or America, then you have made it in life, and
As
that
if as if there is some trees bearing monies and
very,
then you go and
yeah,
be
very money, and you
plugging
just
them.
come in. Exactly. So I believe that I will not say that life abroad is no good.
Yeah,
It is, because the system here is such that it doesn't expose who is poor and
yeah,
who is rich, because there is a credit card system that even somebody who is unemployed be able to at least get something to buy from the grocery stores with their credit card. So
yeah,
the poor or the rich, you all enter the same grocery store, everybody buys what they want, and then that is all. So you are not that hungry. You get what I mean?
yeah,
But kind of stress, the kind of depression, the kind of life that some of us are going through here is not easy. And sometimes when people are reporting positively on the internet, there are people back at home that will be saying that if the place is not good for you, just come home. Just come home. So I was following a lot of people, and I thought that in life you won't get anything that you want.
of
You
course,
get it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
sometimes I believe that there are some of us abroad who,
yeah.
when they come on Twitter, when they come on Facebook, when
They talk
they
here and there.
go on YouTube, they portray as if life here is just everything. Let
Yeah,
me tell you, there are a lot of people that I know who have been to Canada for more than 5 months, for more than 6 months, and even more. They have not had any employment. They have not had any employment. And here, the life here is not as in Ghana that we have that social life. Here is just about the father, the mother, and the kids. And
of course.
to
That's when you have one. If that's when you have one, when you're living
exactly,
with this people you mentioned. But if you don't, it's about yourself.
exactly, it's
Yeah.
about each one for himself and God
Yes.
for us all. So
Exactly.
their life is like Africa, where you can go and sit somewhere with your friends and have fun, and then you come back. Even if you are depressed, the kind of entertainment that you have in Africa and a whole lot, you will just, so it is unlike that. At this time here in the Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, we are experiencing a -2 degrees Celsius, the
Yes.
temperature. So where
Yes.
exactly are you going to sit to
Nowhere.
have that social life? So you
Always
get it.
indoor.
So
Yeah.
those people who are just reporting, oh, here, once you come, I work here and then I'm paid this one, I'm paid this amount and a whole lot, and then, oh, in Canada you can save up to this amount, you can save in UK, you can save. A lot of them are liars. They
Yes,
are just
and yes, and not to cut you short. The funny thing is that this kind of money we're talking about, the value of a money lies in the economy it finds itself.
yeah,
So yes, so if you have that that whatever, let's assume that what they say is true. You ask yourself, end of the day, where do they spend that money? In that
Yeah.
foreign economy they find themselves. But what they do to confuse people is that they
Mm.
just do that, do the conversion, and somebody at the other side look at it and say, "Ooh, so you are making this at the end of the month." Meanwhile, the money is being spent in this environment, not
Exactly.
the other
So you
side.
don't do the conversion. Yes. And they don't report how much they pay as rent. They don't
Yes,
report how much they pay as bills. They don't
yes.
report how much they pay as other expenditures.
Car insurance, tax, and everything.
Exactly, exactly. So
Yes,
life here is not that easy as we are made to believe back at home. I'm saying that when you are here, at least you can have your credit card. Once you have something to do, work to do, you have your credit card. It can survive you for a while, and even if you are not working, you can be, using your credit card to be buying stuff. And time that you work and get money, you pay it over a period of time. Because here you'll be giving, for example, a credit card of, let's say, $2,000, and with the $2,000 every month you are giving somewhere around $40 to pay every month. Just pay $40. Meanwhile, at the end of the month, you would have spent beyond $40 at the end of the month. So it's just
yeah,
like the government is, or the system is said that you know everybody, at least at any level that you are able to get something for yourself. There are some people
yeah.
who are driving Porsche cars. Oh, Okwabruchin and saying, just look at the cars that the person is driving. I'm telling you that these cars, a lot of them are on loans.
Of
They are
course, of
paying it
course.
over 7 years. Some are paying
Yes,
it 7 years. Others,
you
they
are
are
right.
paying it 10 years.
You are
You
right.
get it? Yes,
Yes,
some people have cars. Yes, Porsche cars. Yes, beautiful cars. Yes. But ask them how much they are paying every
at
two
the end
weeks.
of the month.
You
Yes,
pay, yes. I have friends who have cars, and every 2 weeks they are paying like $300 every two
yeah.
weeks. So it means that a month you are paying $600 for 7 years.
Just imagine.
You get it? For
Yes,
7 years. Then this
yes,
is minus insurance. You get it?
yes.
And insurance to here every month you will have to pay. Unlike
Of
probably
course.
Ghana, where I don't know whether they pay it yearly or whatever, or some number of months, and even people try to skip it. But here
You,
there is nothing like you can skip it because
you dare not. You dare
exactly.
not.
So
You dare
I
not.
was I was I was communicating with a friend who had wanted to come here
Yeah.
on a visit visa, and I told him that, my friend, you are educated, you hold your degree, you have a first degree, you are a teacher. Why not buy forms in one of the universities and come through the study visa route? Because at the end of the day, when you come on the study visa route, if you are a master's student here in Canada, it is not that they are trying to, make some amendments
Yeah.
of their laws. And even with that, if you're a master student and you are studying, for example, education, you are studying health, and your wife is in the education sector, your wife is in the health sector, your wife is an entrepreneur, your wife is a plumber, or your husband is a plumber, or a mechanic, or a fitter, or any craft that the Canadian government needs, your
Yeah.
wife or your husband stands a chance of joining you there, and you
Yeah.
also stand a chance of bringing your kids there. But when you come on a visit, the truth is that the agent will not tell you that when you come on a visit, you will not have the opportunity to work here in Canada.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you are here as a visitor, there is no way you can have any job unless
Employment. No.
you get it, unless you find other means, which
Yeah.
I would not want to go there
Of
unless you
course.
find other means. Okay.
Yes.
And now the people here, those with valid work permits, are even more, to the extent that their demand is low. Is
Yeah.
Yeah, their demand is low. So how much more you that is coming on visit visa? People are just deceiving others that, oh, come with visit visa, and if you get there, Canada, now they are
Yeah.
changing their rules, and the immigration rules across the globe keep on changing. Not only in
Yeah.
Canada, in the
Yeah.
UK, in the US, they keep on changing their immigration rules. And that, if you're not careful and you come on visit visa, you'll be compelled to do what probably will not be good for you.
Yeah, you've never thought of it.
Yes, until one day can say, oh, you could dear draw, but don't forget that who could this draw no? O passport I would buy any, yeah, different with them.
Yeah.
So what ba say, ukuru ohunto, ye tata ye pokum, o life or hono, enye papa. Inti amanfo nyom beku nti maba me de me ho aba say so ohun ye kan yegodi adu me mpese me ka
Of course. Oh
ma
yeah,
ma
yeah,
shada
yeah.
na madane ho me dia
I emuda ho
ohun
to aso.
enti
Yeah.
oba betwitwa sa ntro we nyina e na entro no so omode ba no sisi no aye so predictable say obi aba ya o say se bi o ye tumutumu e na
The crew boy see the
ne memu
mreba.
ho no ye mfa no ye omo penekunu e na de ande na obeka na say sisi amanfo mu gu sa fie ho no efie ho na omo mu di aduro fie ho no gu no kane ne na omo da ebi etutu a ene yi no omo da be se 5 in a room enti amanfo bebre omo ba ha sei no omo life no unua enya asem ketewa o
Yeah.
enti wo bakọ na yaje o passport enti obi beka se na abrochire na de ende na omo se wo pa abrafie de me ka che o se se bompre se obi anko fie sisi ye ya ye wo enipa bebre a chunk number of people omo ntimi nko fie because oni nkrata
Of course.
even the passport kra no eni ni ho
Yeah.
abana je passport no enti abana je passport no afiri wo na wo no waba na odo ho abra abana se okuro mu nye safe enti abana nye wo no waje o passport because the passport no ma wa wo beba bi enti ene ono so waje passport no ene wo de passport na to ena
Obo
wote
man. Yeah.
on tuntimi ma untimi ntu kwan se wo yere o ba back to Ghana enti ye onkofo bebre wa they cannot come back to Ghana because omo an omo de omo ho ayede abema but the agents will be telling them lies. Oh, get there. Oh, for your employment, it is easy. You just get something to do in Canada when you enter. I'm telling you. There are people who have been here for close to a year. They don't have any meaningful work to do. But most of such people will just put cameras on them and be reporting as though it is all well with them. No, it is not. Let us not to be deceived. If you will have the right channel to travel to Canada, to Europe, to America, to any other part of the world that you would want to travel to, Australia, please go through the rightful way. Go through the rightful way. For the visit, tete hɔ no na ɛboa nkɔɔfoɔ but ɛnɛ yi no ɔmo de kwan pa no aba no adɔɔso ara kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo koraa no ɔmo nyɛ adwuma nyɛ na wo a wamfa kwan papa so anyɛ de ma what is the make say
Yeah.
I keep on advising a lot of people when we tell them and then they ask you nti sɛ me beduru na sɛ me ka sɛ school no me nkɔ nso a ɛno no ɔmo bɛyɛ me dɛn ɛna me sɛ
And then I'll be doing that.
why didn't na wobɛdwen saa wo so wobɛba waba school na woba yɛ a wɔsɛ school no me
No, I
nkɔ
would say yes, not to cut you short. The kind of in somewhat akufi. Na dwen ne say, wo banana na besim say king mewie.
yeah
Enti ɛno na bɛma na kase. Na me banana school no ma nkɔ because watete say nkrofo bebre bakra school no wo nya dai wo nkɔ. Enti
sorry
any oba onkɔ. And it is very serious thing to do. It be as said no, like you said, if you talk about it, we back say okay, what's what here, the other uncle, but let's not forget, say, Sadi we sike woman ne a cow be boo fee, anyway, do maybe I will ye best say and son what baby do so be do
yeah
no who the woman. What sanko a chibi me ye,
ɛnyɛ
cause
ye
won't kono, and then I walk away.
was teaching and I came
Mm-hmm.
and I've been off government payroll. So if for
Yes.
example I say that okay the place is not good for me, I have to go back to my country, then what am I going to do? What
Yes.
am I going to do back there? You get
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. So let's not be deceived. Let's not be deceived as people in Africa that everything abroad is the best. And then no.
Okay.
Yes, if you have the opportunity in a rightful way, come. Don't be deceived by any agent here in Canada, for example. say, the immigration rules keep on, changing. And this is their election year, or more election year, ni October, November, or more October. Abana or more beto no. Nneɛma paa amanfoɔ bɛgyina so paa kɛse de ato aba no yɛ immigration ho asɛm. Adeɛ baako kɛse paa yɛ immigration, because temammufoɔ no hu ne sɛ ahɔhoɔ no bɛgum akyɛ do ama kɔmɔ yɛ no, ahɔhoɔ no yɛ adwuma no ne adeade ne a whole lot of nti opposition no nso ɛbɔ hɔ ma hɔ no pae. Nti ama incumbent no nso no ɛsesa mmara no mu just to at least favor ɔmo nkɔɔfoɔ no. Nti at this time sɛ wose wopɛ sɛ woba Canada, bɛtumi atuufo sɛ nyabotere ne study nneɛma kakra nsa, especially sɛ nyɛ waa na woyɛ wɔ application na wose wode application no ɛkɔma agent bi no wagye wo sika kɛseɛ na wayɛ adeɛ no deɛ ama obi agye wo bɛyɛ sɛ 60,000 Ghana cedis, obi koraa agye obi bɛyɛ 100,000 Ghana cedis na wayɛ saa adeɛ no deɛ ama wo, yɛbɛdina wo, especially sɛ woamfa the rightful route so a yɛbɛdina. Na sɛ yɛdina wo a agent no sika no on refund you, ɔbɛ refund koraa ɔbɛwie no na sika no na ayɛ basaa. Nti ɔbɛtu kwan a ɛnɛ mmerɛ yi mu no deɛ, use the rightful means. Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's been an amazing conversation with OGEE. Great conversation, and certainly there should be part 2 of this conversation. But OGEE, before I take leave of you, your final words. I mean, for viewers watching us both home and then here in the diaspora, what is your final words and the take home that you will give into them?
Okay, so one thing that I would say is that in life we should be resilient, we should be focused, we should be ambitious, not just overly ambitious, but we should be ambitious. We should chase our dreams. We should fight for what belongs to us rightfully. You get it? So let us continue to aspire for greatness. But before you are able to get to greater height, I shared my story with you, how I started, how I even used about 11 years to get a degree. And now doing my master's. People that I started school with them, they have their masters already. Some even have their PhDs. But life is not.
Some even don't have it at all.
Exactly, life is not.
Some even had their first degree before you, but
exactly.
But
some had their first degrees before me, but here I am. Life is not a race. You are not chasing anybody. You don't have a predetermined arrangement with somebody that at least you should do A, B, C, or D. Just focus on your dreams. Just focus on what you are doing, and don't be deceived. And one more thing is that if you would want to travel, just go through the websites of these immigration website of these countries. For example, US, go to Canada, IRCC. There are a lot of information there that you can read for yourself. And the application, you can do it yourself. I will tell you that I did my own application. I did the application myself under the guidance of a colleague. You get it? Under the guidance of a colleague who had been here and who guided me to do the application. So I did everything myself. You get it? So after going there, you have a lot of information for yourself and you prepare yourself and do it. Don't go and give money to anybody who poses to be agent. Some of them are genuine, but there's most of them, they are not genuine. They will just take your money, and then at the end of the day, you will have to laugh at the wrong side of your mouth. So please, we don't want to be reading. Most of us don't want to be reading. There are some of us that if you even tell them, oh, you can do it, they say, oh, Charlie, find somebody for me. Find somebody for me. Me, I don't have time. And then somebody for you comes at a higher cost.
At a cost, yes.
Not only financially, but at the end of the day, when you are denied, it is also a cost. The trauma and then the kind of psychological problems that you go in, the financial stress that you go in, throwing all this money away.
You're right.
It's a whole lot.
Right. You're right. Because if you're doing it, the kind of document is submitted, you know what you are submitted.
Exactly.
And so I mean, you are right, perfectly
exactly.
So. Yes, you save yourself money, you save yourself with your own dignity, you save yourself with stress, the trauma and everything. I mean, that's a good advice. Anybody out there who is thinking of embarking on any of these journey, I'm sure this should be a very, very, very important lessons to the person, unless he or she has decided to go the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a great conversation with you, OG. I must
Thank you.
appreciate you've really given given my audience and myself a lot to feed on. But like I said, and like I told you, there should be a second part of this conversation, but I'm sure that should be some other day. Until then, I'll say thank you for coming to my channel. I fully appreciate your time. I really appreciate your time. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much too for the opportunity given to me. I believe that this is a great opportunity to extend my experience, to extend my life story to other people, just to inspire other people out there. And this is an opportunity that all of us will have to uh, take cues from. All of us will have to learn from. And as I even continue to aspire for greater heights, I continue to learn. So learn, add it to what you have as your experience, and then I think everything will be all good for all of us. It's going to be a great year, 2025. But if you don't push, the year wouldn't be great for you.
Certainly,
And
certainly.
it only comes with somebody who is ambitious, who is focused, who is resilient, and especially financially be disciplined.
That's great. And that's deep. All right. So I'll see you in your graduation. Just let me know when you are graduating. I'll try to see if there will be a chance for me to be there.
Thank
And
you very much.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Kia.
all the best, my brother. Take
Thank
care.
you.